All right, so this is going to be an example of a quadratic. Our first step is we want to find the first change or the first delta. So I'm going to draw a little box here, and that first change is from the previous number to the next. So 9 to 7, we're going to subtract 2. From 7 to 3, we're going to subtract 4. And then from 3 to -3, we're going to subtract 6. And then from -3 to -11, we are going to subtract 8. So that's your first change or your first delta. Our second change, our second delta, is what identifies it as a quadratic. So it's the difference between now the changes. So we have -2 down to -4. So we subtract 2 more. -4 to -6. And then -6 to -8. So that is a constant change of -2. Remember our quadratic formula is ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is going to be your delta 2 divided by 2. So in this case, -2 divided by 2 is going to get us an a value of -1. Okay. Our c is, what is y when x is 0? So x is 0 right here. Y is going to be 7. So C is 7. Okay. So we have two of our variables for a quadratic expression, but we do not know what B is. So in order to find B, there's this little simple tool that we can use. It's A plus B equals our first change from 0. So yeah, it looks like our first change is right here, but in all reality we begin at 0, so it's from 0 to the next number down. So it's going to be -4. So equals -4. A is -1. And we don't know what B is, so we're going to go ahead and try and find B. So to get B by itself, we have to kind of do the inverse operations or the opposite. So we're going to add 1 to both sides, and B would equal -3. So we should have the formula -1x squared minus 3x plus 7. Okay. In order to test that, to make sure that it's right, we need to pick an x value from here, plug it in, and then see if it matches what our y value is. So I'm going to use where x is 1, because you don't really have to do too much multiplication with that. So -1, and I'm going to, instead of x, I'm going to put a 1 there. So I replace all the x's with 1. Now I'm just going to solve it and see if it equals 3. So 1 squared, well, that's just going to be 1. So -1 times 1 minus 3 times 1 plus 7 equals y. So now I'm going to go ahead and I got rid of my exponent. Now I'm just going to go ahead and multiply, if you remember PEMDAS. So -1 times 1 is -1. -3 times 1 is -3 plus 7 equals y. So -1 minus 3 is going to be -4 plus 7 equals y. -4 plus 7 should equal 3 equals y. Then we go back up here to our table. Does our y equal 3? Yes. So that is how you check to make sure that you got the right one.